Hi and welcome to this week's WoW Flash Warcraft news. Now, the big one, of course, is that Method have got the world first on Antorus. So they've defeated Mythic Argus, just sneaking into the second reset. They did it on the first day of the second reset in Europe. We reset on Wednesday. So it's been done now. It was getting to be a little bit of a farce, but of course I'm going to do a Mythic World First Race Roundup. That's going to be this weekend. So I'll talk more about it there. But yeah, Method get the bragging rights there on Exorcus. Exorcus, you would presume, would be fairly swift to follow, although, of course, one of those things, bit deflated when you haven't quite got it. And they probably think they're significantly ahead of the others. But yeah, the tuning was very interesting on this one because we ended up in a situation where there was nearly, if not actually, 20 guilds that were on Mythic Argus before the first guild ever killed it. Don't think that's ever happened before, where on the hardest mode there's been so many guilds on the last boss before the first guild gets it. So yeah, but I'll talk more about it at the weekend. So the other thing is, some people might have expected a bit of class tuning. We haven't had some yet. Doesn't mean to say we won't be getting some either next week or, you know, maybe just before Christmas, which would be next week. And come to think of it, it's getting really close now, isn't it? So there's been a bug fix to Vengeance Demon Hunter, not really there. Mostly it's about tuning to bosses in Antorus itself. Varimathras has in particular had some tuning. He's had his health nerfed by 10%, but that is to compensate by the fact that they're stopping a particular cheese tactic, whereby they were using Aspect of the Turtle for hunters and Cloak of Shadows for rogues, those two immunities that seem to be way better than anyone else's immunity for cheating mechanics. But they basically knocked that on the head for Varimathras and saying, no, you're not doing that. You've got to do it properly. But in actual fact, the 10% nerf to the health should help people be able to do that. So it's just a case of doing it differently. The people who killed it last week, you would think are still going to kill it this week. They'll just have to sort of adapt a little bit there. In other news, Celestalon, senior game designer, is leaving World of Warcraft to work on Hearthstone. I gave my views on that at the start of the second part of Antorus review. So you could check that out if you want to see in fuller details. But yeah, so he's going to be leaving there. Not quite sure who's going to be stepping up to that lead designer role in his area, which is largely based around class balance and class tuning and class abilities and classes, in other words. That poison chalice of a position sometimes it is as well. But yeah, he's gone off to Hearthstone, where presumably we're going to start to see a lot more characters with blue hair featuring in that. I'm not quite sure what his role is going to be there. I don't play Hearthstone myself, and I should be hoping not to get a taste for it now. In terms of the PTR is in full swing now for 7.3.5, and there's a couple of additions in there. The first of which is a new postmaster minigame, which sounds, you know, a bit dull, but it actually looks quite interesting. So the idea with this is you've got six like continents, really. So we've got Eastern Kingdoms, Kalimdor, Outland, you know, God, what are the others? The other ones as well that we've been to, including Broken Isles. And the idea is that you get a letter come up to a place, okay? And you have to throw it click on the correct continent it belongs to. So this will be a place that's within a zone, so you have to be able to recognise the name of that place, realise which continent it's in, and click on that. If you are able to do 30 within 60 seconds, which sounds like a hell of a challenge, but if you're able to do that, then you get a postmaster title. It actually sounds really fun. So I am actually looking to try that one out. And the other thing is, now, just build up to this one, because what has happened in raids so far, if you think about it, is with tier raids. So it's happened in Nighthold and it happened in Tomb of Sargeras. Is it going to happen in Antorus? Well, what am I talking about? Halfway through the raid, a patch comes out, a 0.5 patch comes out, and it sort of helps to nerf the content because we get more powerful. So when in the middle of Nighthold, we got whole new artifact abilities. That made our weapons more powerful, gave us more powerful abilities, and meant that we could do more damage, you know, basically overnight. Halfway through Tomb of Sargeras, we got the Netherlight Crucible. Yes, I know. But we got it and it made us more powerful, if more frustrated at the same time. So is there going to be something for Antorus? Well, I was sort of hoping not, because, you know, I'm sick of farming artifact power. I've got 77 now, but I got my 75. I thought, that's it. they've raised the cap on concordance. So what's concordance? For those, just to remind you, when you've filled in all your artifact traits, it's the one with the icon, the big icon, that you keep clicking on to get more levels on your artifact power, which just basically gives you a few extra little stats and stuff like that. And the concordance proc makes that more powerful. So at the moment, the cap on that is 50. So you can get 50 concordance points. Except it's not realistically possible. Now that we've capped out artifact knowledge at 55, you're not realistically going to get that cap of concordance, is I believe the way it would work out, because of the exponential nature of the increase. We haven't really noticed recently the exponential nature of the increase because we've been getting artifact knowledge each week, but now that's stopped. But they've added another 50 ranks onto it. Now, if it was already impossible to get 50 concordance, why would you suddenly make it 100, which is what has been data mined for this patch? Unless, of course, you'll plan on doing yet again something else with artifacts, and it means we're going to be needing to farm more artifact power. Presumably there will be more artifact knowledge if that is the case. That's reading into it, but again, I don't really see that anything makes any sense going from 50 to 100. So that's been data mined there. Now, always a little bit of a caution on data mine stuff, because sometimes stuff sneaks into there that was intended and doesn't actually happen. But this is a very strange one. That's certainly that's the start of something that's going to be done with artifacts as well before we actually get rid of them. Who knows what that is going to be. So there we are. That's the news for this week. If you want to watch me stream, remember, don't forget to check out my Twitch channel. The schedule is always posted up on there. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with other people who might be interested. Throw down some comments. What do you think about the topics we'll be discussing? And until next time, I'll see you later.